2 months ago, I signed up for something big. My first ever event, the Staffordshire Ironman Triathlon. Let's talk about why. A year ago, I hated endurance. I couldn't see the point in doing it. All I cared about was weightlifting in the gym. If I wanted to go somewhere, I'd just drive. Well, after cycling the coast to coast last year, I proved myself wrong. This 3-day, 170-mile ride across the country changed my life forever. It left me wanting more. After the ride, I found myself researching more and more into endurance training and the events around my area. I stumbled across the Ironman website and I was greeted with a massive challenge. I had only one thought. Having only run 5 kilometers at most, I was aware of the challenge I set myself up for. In fact, I had a long way to go. The Ironman consisted of a 1.8 kilometer swim, a 90-kilometer bike ride and a half marathon. I have until June 12th to get into shape. This was way out of my comfort zone. To get this done, I needed a plan. From all the information I found, I noticed a common theme, and that's fatigue management. In order to prevent fatigue, 3 rules must be followed. Rule number 1, the 80-20 rule. This rule puts 80% of your training into an easy state in an attempt to increase your aerobic base. The remaining 20% is left for high intensity training. Now, this is something I never knew in the past. I would always run and cycle as fast as I could to try beat my previous record. This style of training was actually driving me backwards in terms of progress. Rule number 2, always train with a minimal effective volume. This rule really goes against the grain. Train the least you can while training enough to maximise your progress and minimise fatigue. This is smart training. Your effective volume is usually a lot lower than you may think. This is why many people, including myself, often overtrain. Rule number 3. I also had my own extra rule to get stronger. This is where the hybrid training kicks in. Endurance and strength actually work hand in hand, as strength training plays a huge part in injury prevention, plus it's never bad to be strong. So now you've got some context, let's get into it. Not off to the best start, a little slip on the ice, but keeping moving. So today, 12k, nice and steady, easy run pace, getting back into things after Christmas. We'll just see how this one goes. Not feeling too bad already, 2k down, 10 left. Okay, done. Just gonna go get some food. Just been out for the ride. Towards the end, I had noticed a bit of knee pain on the edge of my knee. So this is most likely IT band pain. So the IT band just runs from the edge of your knee all the way up to your hip, and it's just got tighter and tighter and tighter as I've been running and cycling, and it's just ended up pulling my knee over slightly, and this is just creating friction around the joint, and it's just rubbing around the bones in that area. So I'm just going to get an ice pack on there, try get rested up, and just get some food in. I had already put in well over 150 hours of training over the last few months, and to see everything come to a halt so quickly really put me back in my place. I didn't want to lose my progress to a small injury, so I started the journey to counter the pain. This past week has been entirely focused on the recovery of my knee. I knew that this was my only way out. I came across a study which pointed out that IT band pain was an overuse injury from greater than normal weekly mileage. This study also showed that weak glute muscles could also play a part in the injury. This makes the pelvis unstable while running, and other muscles start to compensate, leading to tightness and restriction. This was a massive lesson to learn. From research, I found that intensity should peak at the start of each week and volume should peak at the end of each week, and every week increases in intensity until I've completed 3 weeks of training, and then I'll take a deload. Deload weeks help to relieve your body of any accumulated fatigue built up over previous weeks, leaving me refreshed and ready to repeat the 4-week cycle again. Each week, distances should be increased by 10% at the very most. This is even pushing it. This is why I injured my knee 2 weeks ago. I had steadily built myself up to a 10k and felt good going into my next run. I let my ego in control and ran 15 instead. This is where it all went wrong. I ran way over the distance my body could handle, and now I'm falling off track. If there's anything the last 3 weeks have taught me, it's to stick to the plan. So over the last few weeks, since I had the injury, I haven't had a single problem since I've stopped increasing that distance by more than 10%, and my weightlifting skyrocketed, my endurance sports have skyrocketed, everything just seems to be going up at the minute and everything's feeling really good. So I've just got to keep chipping away bit by bit. 4 months to go to the event now and everything's looking good so far. So I'm just waiting for the day, I'm just going to smash it and give it my all. Thanks for watching everyone, remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.